I'm trying to keep my spirits up, trying to keep busy, trying to stay off my phone, man. I'll be, you know, time just goes to waste when I'm on there. And, I'll be looking down, it's like 5 o'clock. Next thing you know, it's next week. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to stay off my phone as much as possible. I just feel like my mind turns to mush when I'm looking at that thing.
Right, right. Well, so you are a teacher, you're an educator. So, A, as it relates to your students, but B, also just your community and the country at large. What is kind of a worry you have right now?
Right now is really the safety and well-being of my students. I work with a lot of underserved students, and I've developed really good relationships with my students through the time I've been working there at my school. And the stories that they tell me about what home life is like, what they go through on the day to day, and seeing that school is kind of their way of escaping all of that, school or sports, because I'm also the strength and conditioning coach at my school. Um, so I worry about, just how they're doing, what they're thinking about, how they're feeling, how they're dealing with all of this, and just hoping that, things are fine. And I'm reaching out to them as much as possible, but some of them, don't have Wi-Fi at home, so they're not able to communicate back with me and tell me how they're doing. A lot of them, their parents have gotten laid off, and so now they have to work pretty much full time, and they still have work for school to do, and them just trying to balance both of those is becoming really difficult. So that's what I've been worried about as an educator.
When you're not teaching, what have you been doing? And when you're ideally not on your phone, what have you been doing to keep yourself occupied and enriched during this isolation?
That's one positive, at least individually, personally for me. I've been able to just get into things that, I've been telling myself I was going to do for, a long time now. I've been getting into running a lot more. I've always been somebody who's really into fitness. I've been working out, lifting for most of my life, but I've never been a runner. And, the past 4 or 5 weeks, I've been running. Um, I'm training for a half marathon. My goal for this year was to do a half marathon. And just last week, I ran 10 miles. And so I'm like, all right, now my goal can be to run a marathon at the end of this year. So I've been really getting to meditating a lot more than I already have been. Um, and just doing random stuff, listening to like podcasts um, that I've been wanting to listen to, and just kind of explore just like all these different things with meditation and mindfulness and things like that. So
Do you think there are any lessons that your community or even globally that we will learn from this long term?
one thing I've been thinking about is just like, how do we improve? How do we continue to improve to provide more equitable instruction? As a teacher, I think as a teacher, you're just kind of immersed in that world. Like, every day you go to work and you're thinking about these students, and you don't want to just go to work just to go to work. Like, it's a whole different thing. You don't go to the work for the paycheck when you're a teacher, right? You go to work for these students, and you try to find ways to best serve them every time, every day. Um, and yeah, man. So like, how are we going to be able to continue to uh, serve them with equitable instruction? Right now, our biggest problem is, we have students with IEPs, so our SPED students. How are we going to be able to give them extra support? Right now, that's the toughest thing to do, especially if we can't reach them. And then the students who are English learners, how are we going to be able to support them even more? Um, so hopefully, you know, people will take equity a lot more seriously in the school system.